Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Dragon's Dogma. So, I have created a primary pawn, and I have gotten rid of Rook, because... that's why. And I've hired 2 additional pawns, and they're all just kind of off doing their own thing.
Ah, a master and his pawn, is it?
Apparently we have dialogue now.
You'll be quite the force, come the day you learn to fight as one. Mind you, that is a skill better honed in practice than in the heat of mortal combat. I can help in that regard, should you wish it.
Oh yeah, the little training arena thing. We'll go do that, I guess. Oh, that guy. Oh, I forgot about that guy. Mystery hooded figure.
The man of the enlistment.
Okay, not now. Let's take a look at what we've got here. I see my pawns. Okay, so there's me. I'm Molly. So Molly Millions, we're gonna be a really sweet fighter. It's gonna be awesome. We have Henry Dorset Case here. He does incredible things. Some might consider them to be magical. So he's gonna be a mage for now. I haven't decided yet whether he's going to be mostly a support mage, doing things like healing magic, the various buffs, that sort of stuff, or if I'm going to actually have him be like an all-out offense, just glass cannon, dishing out the damage left and right. I haven't decided yet. I haven't decided. He's going to be one of those things. For now, it doesn't matter. Like, we have to level up his vocation anyway. I'll talk about that stuff later. Doesn't matter yet. Doesn't matter. But he's going to be a mage for a while. I don't know whether he's going to be offense or support. Right now he has a fireball attack, which is offense, and he can cure, which is support. So he's the best of both worlds. Pawns have inclinations. I'll talk about it now, I guess. When I hire pawns from now on, and always, including the ones I just hired, forever, for the rest of the Let's Play. Whenever I hire pawns, it's going to be off camera, because that is a miserable, lengthy process I go through. And the reason that that is such a miserable process for me to go through is because of pawn vocations. So, as you saw at the very, very end of the last video, when I was creating my pawn case, you answer like a couple of little questions about just whatever. You just answer some questions, and they kind of help determine your pawn's starting inclination. And then the way that you behave and kind of the things that you command your pawn to do and the way your pawn acts as you play the game will influence your pawn's various inclinations over time. And every pawn can have a primary and a secondary inclination, and basically those are the weightings that affect how the AI behaves. And there's a whole bunch of different ones. There's Scather, which is like crazy offense, just attack the biggest, nastiest thing that you see. There's Mitigator, which is crazy offense, attack whatever the weakest, smallest, most pathetic looking enemy is. There's Utilitarian, which is like cast lots of buffs. There is Medicant, which is use lots of healing abilities, remove any sort of debuffs that have been placed on you, that sort of thing. Guardian and Nexus, which are by far the most common pawn inclinations, but they're also incredibly useless. They are, don't do anything until either the player character, myself, has been attacked, or until another pawn has been attacked. That's awful, because that means your pawn spends the first chunk of time at the beginning of a battle just not doing anything. They're awful. They're totally horrible. Don't have a Guardian pawn or a Nexus pawn. Don't have either of those things on either of your pawn's inclinations. And most people do, because when you tell your pawn to come back to you, when you hit the little command of like, hey, come back here and help me, that causes your pawn to become more of a guardian, and it's awful. So Scather and Mitigator are really good for damage dealing pawns. That's a thing that I look for in my damage dealing pawns. Depending on whether I have Case as a utilitarian / medicant, or if I have him as a Scather / mitigator, I will look for the other pair of things in whatever my other mage is. So right now, it doesn't matter. We're early enough in the game, it doesn't matter. I haven't decided what to do with the case. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So I have a Scather and then Utilitarian, Strider, an Archer, Rogue, whichever of those things you prefer, who has a couple of abilities. They actually have Triad Shot, which is a pretty good early ability. That's pretty good. So this is... Who are you? Gerald is the one who created this pawn, and this pawn's name is... something. Alright, good talk. Oh, Priscilla, it's on the tab. Durr. That's great. And then we have Gandalf, the mage pawn, who doesn't have any inclinations. He's apparently perfectly neutral across everything. And he has Ingle, which is fireballs, Levin, which is a thunder attack, Anodyne, which is heal, and then Fire Boon, which is put fire on your weapon. So he's a pretty damn good pawn, considering he's such an early level. When I play the game, as I kill things and complete quests and gain experience, my character Molly and my pawn Case will both gain experience, and we will level up. And any other pawns that we've recruited who are hanging out with me, in this case Gandalf and Priscilla, they will not gain experience. So I will be using each pawn for a good chunk of time, but I'm also going to be cycling through pawns pretty quickly. So expect to see new pawns frequently. But the general plan that I'm right now, the thing that I'm kind of looking for in my pawns is I want across all three of my pawns, I want a damage dealer, I want an offensive mage, and I want some sort of healing or support mage. And like I've said many times now, I don't know what Case is going to be, but he's going to be one of those two mage things. So then I'm going to be looking for, the other type of mage so that I have both offense and support, and then some sort of damage dealer. I would prefer something different from my own character. So if I'm going to be melee, which I am right now, a melee damage dealer, then I want like a ranged attack pawn. So Priscilla is exactly that. She has a bow and arrow. She has the potential to be ranged. I don't know that she's going to be ranged, but there it is. So that's just kind of a general overview of pawns, inclinations, how they work, that sort of thing. There are a few other inclinations I didn't talk about. There's one, I don't remember what it is, but there's one that is, it causes pawns to target like ranged enemies, so they will specifically go after any sort of like enemy archer or enemy mage first. That's pretty cool. I like that one. In general, all you need to know about the inclinations is that they're pretty damn important because they influence how your mages work. And the person, like, right outside the Rift Stone, where I just was, I got teleported here because of quests, but wherever I just was, the person there sells a stack of potions, one for each different inclination, and it will, like, give a huge bonus to whatever that inclination is for your pawn. So if you buy a Scather potion, you can give it to your pawn, and your pawn will like get a huge uptick in their Scather-ness, and will most likely have Scather as their primary pawn inclination type. So okay, now that we got that out of the way, I have these pawns. We're going to go ahead and just do the training. We have a bunch of it to do. Sure. Whatever. It's just kind of tutorial things, but it's involving, like, manipulating your party a little bit. So it's lots of things that can only be accomplished if you have a full set of 4 people. And they're all pretty damn easy. So we gotta go pick up those things that the camera's zooming in on, those boxes of stuff, and bring them to an area. To that area. Right there. Right there. So each of my pawns is gonna go get one. I am also going to get one, and that will be all 4. So, look at that. It's like magic. And you're timed on these, and the time is...
The deadline draws near, sir.
Generous if you have all 4 people, but it's something that you won't be able to do if you have fewer than 4.
What's this?
My pawns are looting things.
Enough!
Well done. Will be use. I will.
Training, destroy the scarecrows.
Old fella with a spell.
The scarecrow's weak to blows.
Time of
Fine.
Draws near, sir. We must hurry. There's no time.
Old fella with a spell.
And so the idea is like you want a mix of ranged and melee, and then for the next round it's going to introduce like magical ones that can only be damaged by magic. I believe. And then I think the fourth round is a mix of magical and physical combat dummies. Yeah.
I'm afraid. I'll fill it with a spell.
Force alone will topple them.
And it's decent enough experience for each of these. They're pretty mindless
We
and
must
easy.
hurry. There's no time.
Hit it.
Strength in numbers, Arisen.
Yay.
Well done.
And I'm flying through the dialogue because it's all those things that I just said.
This
It's nice
scarecrow's
and easy.
weak to magic.
So the greenish colored ones can only be damaged by magic,
Time of plenty.
and then the red ones are physical. So I'm going after the red ones.
The scarecrow's weak to
The
blows.
deadline draws near, sir.
Really hoping that my party is intelligent enough to deal with
There's
the
no
rest.
time. I'll fill it with a spell.
Did it.
Strength in numbers, Arisen.
Get it? I mean, it's free experience. You saw that
See, you.
my pawn already leveled up. And we got a bunch of cash. And I leveled up. Oh, it's great. Nice and easy. Okay, let's go back out here, and I hope that nothing bad happens, like us being attacked by
The training grounds are
an
used
evil
to
monster.
instruct the men of the corps in combat. Twill be
Like being
easier
attacked by
going through
an evil
this area
monster would be
now.
awful. I actually forget what it takes to trigger that. Oh, we gotta talk to you. Okay, I'm not gonna talk to you.
Born
I don't
in a
want this to
drifting
happen.
world. We come
So we can loot the area for things. Usually pretty decent items here. This is the guy who sells the potions I was just talking about, I think. Oh no, it's not you.
What will it be today?
Oh, we can deal with skills here. Okie dokie. Let's talk about that. So my pawn and I each have a vocation, and so there's two kind of types of experience currencies-ish, I guess. So we gain experience points, which let us gain levels, and then we gain discipline, which is experience, but only for whatever job you are. So, like right now, I'm a fighter. I learned sword abilities and shield abilities. If I switch over to being a mage, you can see over on the left. Oh, I can use a mouse. Oh my gosh, I can point. Look at this right there. Yeah, look at that. The rank. I have rank points. 2 out of 4, 6, 8, 9. So, though the rank dictates like the level of the available ability. So as I gain more and more discipline and I level up my rank as a fighter, I will gain access to additional attacks, special skills, and other abilities. We'll talk about those in just a moment. Anyway, so there's that. That's good. That's a thing that we want. We want to keep doing that. We want to level up because that's just good overall. Slight stat boosts on everything, extra attack and that sort of stuff. But the vocation ranks are really, really important because those let us learn new abilities. So, we have a whole bunch of new abilities. There are abilities for each of your weapons. So, sword and shield as a fighter. If you're the rogue type, you would have daggers and bow and arrow. You'd have those abilities. There are also core skills which affect your vocation, and they're not specific to a weapon. Some classes can use multiple weapons. So like the magic fighter can use magic warrior, magic knight, I forget what it's called. It can use swords or maces. And so it has sword skills, it has mace skills, and then core skills are things that don't affect either of those. So like this is a sword and mace skill, and it will let me do like a longer basic attack combo. Takedown is like a heavy attack combo. I did it with the in the tutorial zone with the generic guy that we were, whatever he was, when we were chasing the dragon and fighting the chimera and stuff. where he'll swing his sword for the heavy attack, and then he'll do like a little shoulder bash thing as a follow-up. So that's what that core skill does. We also saw a bunch of these... oh my gosh, sensitive controller, knock it off. We saw a bunch of these sword abilities and shield abilities. We saw a symbol attack where like I keep bashing the shield forward like symbols, just like bam, 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 bam. We saw that's a tongue twister. We saw shield strike also, where he just does like a big, massive charge up bash with a shield to like stun enemies a little bit. We saw a skyward sword where he swings the sword upwards a couple times. We've seen a bunch of these already. That's kind of cool. Core skills, I just talked about those. Augments are super important because these are abilities that exist between classes. So if I learn the fitness augment, which halves the stamina that is consumed when we lift objects or grapple hold opponents, kind of cool. Or vigilance, which is like, here, have more HP. If I buy this augment and I equip it, I will keep this augment even if I switch over to being a mage. So if I'm a fighter with vigilance, that's great. I can also just swap over and become a mage with vigilance, or a strider / rogue with vigilance, which means I will just have more HP. These are really important. Later on in the game, I'm going to play as a bunch of different classes that are kind of outside of my norm so that I can get these augments, because they're really, really, really important. They're crucial to this game. And then there are secret augments, and that's a DLC Dark Arisen thing. You learn those from scrolls from Bitter Black Isle. I will deal with those when we get them. I've never actually found one. So you have a limited number of augment slots. I've never found an augment, like a secret augment from the DLC area, that was worth equipping over one of the other augments. And I don't know if it was just like bad luck or what, but I like the standard augments. I don't necessarily think they're worth losing a standard augment to get a secret one. But I was also a mage, so who the hell knows how things are going to be different this time. Anyway, all of that I just went through, whew, that was a lot. That applies to both myself and my pawn, my main pawn, Case. So, same sort of thing with Case. Case only has new staff abilities, though. So let's learn... let's learn ice, so Frazzle. So there's kind of 3 elements, fire, ice, and thunder. And then there's also like holy and dark and whatnot, but those are kind of the main 3. So there's like fire, we already know fire, we can learn ice and thunder. We can also learn fire boon to put fire on weapons, ice boon to put ice on weapons, and thunder boon, and I'll leave that one up to your imagination. So we're gonna get ice on our main pawn Case. For myself, broad cut, which is swing a giant horizontal slash while jumping backwards. So it's kind of a good little evasive maneuver. You can see that it costs 200 discipline. We have 536. So, you know, interesting as to whether we later on, it'll be more of an issue where we learn smaller, like, cheaper abilities, but we can learn more of them versus saving up for an expensive ability, that sort of thing. Just doesn't matter yet. Doesn't matter yet. So Skyward Lash, which is swing your sword in the air. Tusk Toss, where you stab forward to grab an enemy and then like lift it over your head and slam it down behind you. It's kind of the sword version of a suplex, I guess. That's good. That's decent. Shield Strike, which is a massive blow with a shield. Causes little damage, so it's not terribly damaging, but forces the target to drop their guard. So it's really good if we smack an enemy who's like blocking with a shield. It'll cause them to stagger and lower their guard for a moment so we can get in some actual hits. Pretty good. Last thing I want to point out is down here in the corner. The little banner image indicates which classes this applies to. So Shield Strike can be learned by me, a fighter. That's what this is. You can tell because that's what we got over here. A fighter. That's what the banner looks like. This one here that's half red and half yellow. Red is a fighter and yellow is a strider. So for each of the different classes, I'll just talk about this now because why not? They're the 3 main classes. Fighter, the strider / rogue. I'm always going to call them a rogue. And then the mage. And so it's red, yellow for the rogue, and blue for the mage. And then there's an advanced version of each of them. So fighter can transition to warrior later. That's kind of cool. Strider can transition to ranger, and mage can transition into sorcerer. So that's the 3 base classes, the 3 advanced classes, and then in between each there is a hybrid class. Red and yellow for the assassin, which is what this logo is right here. That's the assassin. That's pretty cool. Red and blue for the magic knight, and then blue mage and yellow strider hybrid for the magic archer, which is probably my favorite class. They're really, really fun. So you can see, like, shield strike and the springboard are both things that the assassin can learn, but symbol attack is something that only the fighter can learn. And that sort of thing is not terribly important yet, but it might be later on. I'm going to learn Skyward Lash and Broad. We'll learn both. Case already learned the thing. Yes. So Case will get Brazil. And I will get the 2 things that I just did. So attack in the sky. No, wait. Attack in the sky and nope. Stop. Controller. There we go. Shield summons, that's the only shield ability we have. And then augments, you can see we have 6 augment slots, but we haven't learned any yet. As I mentioned, those are going to be super duper important later. Much later. I don't really care. Right. So this guy will let you do your skill things, and he also manages your bank. So you can manage your inventory here. You can like deposit stuff like, I don't need a molly carrot, let's deposit that. And I don't need a fish. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't care yet.
Have your pick. Any you like.
I don't care.
Come again soon.
We'll just hold on to all my stuff. Oh, by the way, core skills, the little pop-up thing reminded me, core skills do not actually need to be equipped. So if I learn the takedown attack, I have that. It doesn't take up one of my special ability slots. Because I only have 3 for each. 3 for my main weapon. Which we got Skyward Lash, we got Broad Cut, we got Link Strike. And then 3 for my secondary attack, which right now is just Shield Summons. Core abilities don't take those up. Oh my gosh, there's a liquid Vim here. That's amazing. Things. Get things. Salubrious Brew. That's also pretty good. Rift here is to deal with pawn things. There are going to be rift stones all over the place. That's where you respawn your own pawn or get new ones. That's everything I care about in a nutshell. This is Reynard. We saved him earlier.
Boy there, been some time, hasn't it? Enough time to become well famous in your case. The Arisen. 'Tis the second coming of Duke Dragonsbane, I dare say. I like it, friend. I like it well. Now, let us talk of business. You'd be a fool not to have a look at my wares.
We'll be dealing with him a lot more in the future. He's a traveling merchant, so we can buy things. We buy... Not that. Okay. Controller, you are awful. We buy better... We buy the ironclad staff. Yeah, we'll get that for Case. That'll be pretty good. Pretty darn good. Yeah, so we'll just buy that right now and get it over with. Case, you now get an ironclad staff. Congratulations. You could equip... He does have armor. There are 2 slots, clothing and armor, for most pieces. Doesn't matter that much. Doesn't matter. It just means there's twice as much armor to buy in some cases. Myself. I mean, I know what I want to buy, but can't afford it now. The chest guard. I think that's clothing tier. I'll buy it. What tier of thing is that? Clothing. Okay, it is clothing. So you got to keep track of the two, because you have a clothing tier and you have an armor tier. And then some things like the Fisherman's Tatters, which will take up both slots. That's decent for now. Let's buy gloves. We can. Nope. Stop. Ooh. Doesn't matter. We're early enough in the game, it doesn't matter. Like, physical defense and magical defense, they don't matter. So I'm gonna buy a set of gloves. We apparently have a cape that we picked up. That's cool. Don't have any jewelry yet. Alright, we get stuff. I could sell things, we could buy more stuff,
No.
we can do more, I don't really care. Oh, the last thing I want to show off.
Now, let us talk of...
Enhancement. So, if we have certain items, we can upgrade our gear. So for the trusty sword, if we pay 190 gold, we can upgrade it to a 1-star weapon. You can see current level 0 out of 3 stars over on the right. Everything has 3 stars of upgrades, and then also like some super duper top secret upgrades after that. We'll talk about those when we get to them. It's going to be a while before we're killing dragons. And yes, they all involve killing dragons. So gold for the first tier, and then you can see like we need, for 2 stars, 60 gold, or 60 times 10, 600 gold. 600 gold and a copper ore to upgrade it to 2-star, and then 1,860 gold and 5 harpy pinions to upgrade it to 3 stars. You don't have to go in order. I don't have to pay 190 gold and then 600 gold and a copper ore to upgrade to 2 stars. I could just pay flat out 600 gold and copper ore to upgrade to 2 stars, or skip straight to 3 stars and don't have to pay everything else. So it's actually more, it's a better use of your resources to upgrade as far as you possibly can. It's beginner's gear right now though, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter yet. We'll do it eventually, and you can upgrade like everything. So your armor, we can upgrade the plebeian shirt. I do have it equipped, so we can give it 2 more defense. I'll do that for 20 gold. That's not a big deal. I don't really care. It's so little cash, it doesn't matter. And same with the pants. Doesn't matter. Sometimes they'll gain new abilities, sometimes it's just flat out defense increases. Weapons can suddenly gain like the ability to inflict status ailments and things. It can get good later, but doesn't matter yet. Sure, we'll upgrade a couple things on my pawn. That's fine. I don't care. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay, we have no cash. So that's going to be why I hoard a lot of items through the game, because a lot of them are going to be important for upgrading
We are a vagabond people.
good gear
Born and drifting
later on. Now we have a quest. We have the person up here with the green thing above her head. I'm not going to talk to her yet. We're going to go back to Cassardis real quick. And then I'm probably going to end the video because this is running a bit late. We're going to just... Yeah. Ooh, we can go to Bitter Black Isle already. Holy crap. I might do that right away. I put that off until like super late in my first playthrough. And I don't know that that was the best call. I mean, it was fine, but it might be interesting to do that immediately. That's a thing that I'm going to have to contemplate. We're going to run back, though, because there are going to be a bunch of quests in Cassardis that I ignored the first time we were here. And I'm going to want to do them
We share these roads
now.
with traveling peddlers,
Also,
guardsmen,
rabbit.
and other folk.
Kill the rabbit, steal his pelt. probably gonna sell the rabbit pelts. There's so much exploration that we could do too. Do we have a map? Yeah, we do. Yes, don't care. Quest markers, thank you, thing that shows up. Okay, so this is Cassardis over here, and this is the encampment over here, and we're eventually gonna have to go to the main city up here, Grancis, which is a long freaking path. But like, there's stuff over here that we can explore. We can go out here along this cape and explore back here. We can go explore here along the beach. What's up here to the left? Who knows? So there's a ton to explore. It's got a lot of open world elements, and that just exploration is huge. I will be doing all of that
'Tis your hometown.
eventually. For now, we got plenty to do back in Cassardis, and it'll be great. Most importantly,
Ah, the venerable Arisen returns.
cutscene.
Are you come to lead the pawns in a quest to slay the dragon? Those equivocal husks. Will or nill, the Arisen is always drawn to the dragon, as puppets strung in fate's own thread. Many have come before you, eager to stand tall atop the grand capstone of worldly truth that is the dragon. Arrogance. The dragon is ever born anew into the world, and with it too, the Arisen. All Arisen seek out the dragon, but lucky are the few who attain an audience with the beast, while yet they live. Ours is a weak, fragile world, and little within it is more frail than man. In yon encampment they gather up their knights and hired steel. They think to grow their numbers and hunt the dragon. But they shall soon learn their lot will e'er be as prey.
Well, he's not creepy at all. And I'm sure he's not going to be evil. No, nothing like that. So this guy has a quest. There are going to be a bunch of quests. A whole bunch of them all throughout town. We will deal with them in short order. We'll actually explore the town because I really didn't
Well,
do that.
Madeline, this is a fine bit of fortune you've come
But
into.
there's Madeline. Here's the innkeeper. We can rest for the night
Business is
and like
better, of course, but
fully recover and
as you will.
deal with that stuff later. We can manage our equipment. We can deposit things into our storage area. So I'm going to deposit just all this stuff. Cloud wine, rabbit pelts, hunk of ore, rugged bones, misshapen eye. First journal entry, sure, you can go in there. Seeker's token, the war bugle. I'll probably just sell the work table. Rusty sword, why not? Fishman's tatters, get rid of those. Case you had a thing, yeah, wooden staff, we'll get rid of that. We'll store it for now.
As you will.
Probably gonna sell it eventually, but
You haven't.
I'm gonna try to do a lot of the stuff off camera, as I keep saying. Oh, we can mentor our pawn. So there's this special looking chair here. We can sit in it and then talk to our
Seems a
pawn. Here, we'll
purpose
just do
to
that real
us.
quick. Case, sit down. It gives you like a
I would strike down the most troublesome foes first. Does this please you, Arisen?
yeah, it gives you a series of choices, and there are different pawns in different areas, and you can answer them, and it'll change the way your pawn acts. So, yes, continue attacking whatever the big nasty creature is.
As you wish.
That's fine.
My first target will be those firing projectiles or utilizing magics.
And it'll kind of give you hints as to what your pawn will do based on your pawn's inclinations.
Should I have the chance to aid you in times of need, how would you have me voice it?
So, and now we can adjust his audio. Currently he is ordinary audio. I don't know what that means. Let's make him aggressive.
If it pleases you.
I now have an aggressive pawn. That'll change the way he talks. There's a lot more to pawns. I'm gonna loot the kitchen while we're here. We'll, again, like, deal with pawns as we go. Also, we got a fish. stuff in your inventory will go bad over time, so I'm going to put fish in an airtight flask. So it'll keep. Yay, learning things. The last thing that I want to do while we're here at the inn, there are these boards. Thank you, game, for giving me a little tutorial on them. These notice boards give you quests, and there are going to be a boatload of quests throughout the rest of the game. And so we have a whole bunch of them here. Goblin Raid, go defeat 10 goblins, you get 1,500 gold. You have to defeat them in a particular area. So, that's easy. So we get 1,500 gold, plus we get the base reward mentioned at the top of 500 gold and 500 experience. So, yes, I will be doing that. Slay a bunch of mice in an unknown region. Sure, I'll do that. It's a good old RPG stable, killing mice early on. 5 rabbits. Yeah, you know what? We'll do that too. Reclaim the roads. Kill a bunch of bandits. Sure, I'll do that. So, we got a bunch of quests that we can work on. And we'll do those on camera. And, we'll be exploring Cassardis here, doing a bunch of quests and things next time. So, thank you for joining me, and may the grace of the Twilight Dragon be with you.